So which diagram correctly shows a ray of a light which is passing through a rectangular glass block? So when we check option A, the light moving from air to glass, if we draw the normal, like the dotted line or a continuous line, I can draw as a normal. So when we draw the normal, you can see it bend towards the normal, moving from air to glass. And moving from glass to air, it will bend away from the normal. So means A should be the right answer. But why not B? What is a mistake in B when we identify? So moving from air to glass, it bent towards the normal. Moving from glass to air, it bent away from the normal. But what is the mistake? The mistake is when we have a rectangular glass block, the light which enter and the light which emerge from the glass block should be parallel to each other. So these two light rays are not parallel. Like as you can see, the light enter from here, and emerges out, but not parallel. So the two light rays should be parallel to each other. The one which enter and the one which emerged out. So it cannot be B. B is wrong. What about C when we draw the normal? So what is a mistake in C? Moving from air to glass, the speed should decrease or the angle should decrease. But what is happening? The angle is increasing. So it means this is wrong. When we check option D, in option D, this light is not at all changing the speed. As you can see, it does not change the direction. Means not changing a direction. It's not passing along the normal. If it's not passing along the normal, then it should change the direction. But it's not changing a direction, so it cannot be D. So the correct answer for the first question was A. This is about the lens. We will do the next topic, our lens. Moving on to question 3. The critical angle is refers to the angle of incidence. We call that the critical angle if the angle of refraction is 90. But that is still the topic is left. Question number 4. Question 4. A ray enter and leave the glass block. What could be inside the box to make the ray shown as shown? Ray of a light enter and leave a box. What is there inside the box to make the rays behave as shown? Remember one thing, when we have a rectangular glass block, the ray which enter and the ray which emerge out will always be parallel to each other. For example, the light ray strike the glass block, it refract, changes the speed and direction. Then it again refract, bend it away from normal. So the light ray which is incident and the light ray which is emerged, they are always parallel to each other. So you can see the ray 1 when it enter and ray 1 which is leaving. They are parallel to each other. So if the two rays are parallel to each other, what does it mean? What we have? It means we have a parallel side glass block. So B will be the right answer. If it was a prism, it cannot be a converging lens. Converging lens, if it was a converging lens, then what should happen? If we have the parallel light rays, these parallel light rays will converge at one point. If it was a converging lens, and we have the parallel light rays, so they will converge at one point. So it's not happening. If it was a plane mirror is a reflecting surface. So if it was a plane mirror, how it should happen? The rays which strike the surface, and rays which bounce back, that will be like change in direction as well. But in this case, it is emerging out, it means it's not a mirror. And if it was a triangular prism was there, then what a prism will do, it changes the direction of the light. It won't be parallel, like the rays strike. First it bend towards the normal, then bend away from normal. So the direction will also change. So B will be the right answer for this. A prism also changes the direction of the light. That's why it cannot be. So whenever we have a rectangular glass block, the ray incident and the ray which emerge out are always parallel to each other. If it was a prism, then how the diagram should look like? If in the box it was a mirror, if it was a prism, then the diagram should be like this. Right? There will be a box. Inside a box, if you have a prism, the light will bend and then emerge it out. That will be the case. So whenever a light ray strike and it emerge out parallel to each other, it means it is a rectangular glass block. No, the light is not striking the box. Look, the question is, this is not a rectangular block. Inside this box, there is a rectangular block. And how this rectangular block might be placed? The rectangular block might be placed like this. Or it might be placed like this. That we don't know how it is placed. So the block might be placed in this manner. It's not like this is the question does not mean that this is a block. This is not the case. The question is, inside this box, there is a rectangular block, and because of the presence of this rectangular block, the light will change the direction. First, it will bend towards the normal and then it will bend away from normal. But the two light rays which come out, they will be parallel to each other. So box is not a rectangular block. Inside there is a rectangular block. Moving on to the next question. This is related to a lens. This one. Question 6. What could be the answer? Use a chat to answer these questions. A ray of a light passing through a window. Which part does it take? So first, a light is traveling from air to glass. So what should happen to the speed of the light? The speed of the light should decrease. So if a speed is decreasing, the angle should also decrease. So if you see option A, the angle has increased. So it means it cannot be A, because moving from air to glass, the angle appear to increase. What about B? It does not change the direction, so it cannot be B. What about C? Moving from air to glass, it bent towards the normal, so it means it is C. And what about D? D is like it bent towards directly, like into the normal, which is also wrong. It can only happen if the light entering perpendicular to the surface, then it will pass along this direction. So D is also the correct answer for this one is C. Is it clear, this one? So the diagram shows an image of a clock in a plane mirror. So it's a laterally inverted, means left hand side appear right and right appear left. So normally what we have 1, 2, 3, but here we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So this is between 9 and 10, the R hand, so it is representing 9, and this is at 5, so it is 25. So it is 0925. A converging lens is there. From the name, you can understand that the light should converge, mix. What could be the answer for this? And a lens is a refracting surface, it allows the light to pass through. A parallel beam of a light falls onto a converging lens, which diagram shows what happened to a beam of a light. So what will happen to a beam of a light when the light passes? It will converge at one point, so D will be the right answer. Two more questions we'll do and then we'll start block 4. A similar question. The image of a clock face as seen in a plane mirror. Like this is how it looks in a plane mirror, okay? What is the time on the clock? The image of a clock face as seen in the mirror. So means we have 1 here, we'll have 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 will be there. Because it's a lateral inverted, left up here, right? I wrote the numbers the same way just to identify. So this is between 1 and 2, and this is at 7. So it means what it will be? It will be 135. So B will be the right answer here. A man sees a stone at the bottom of the pool. Which path could be taken by the light from stone to the man? Last question. Which path could be taken by a light from a stone to the man? Look, if this was a right, what it should look like, because it is passing along the normal, so it should part straight. Yes, sir. So A is not passing straight, means this is wrong. What about B? When we draw the normal, moving from air to glass, what should happen? The speed should increase. Sorry, moving from water to air, the speed should increase. So the angle should also increase. That's why B is the right answer. What about C? The mistake in C, there is no change in direction. It's not passing along normal. If it is passing along normal, in that case only it won't change the direction. And what is the mistake in D? That in a D, as it is traveling from water to air, the angle should increase, but the angle is decreasing.